Hey, what's up gamers? You have TigerChainsaw. Now if you've been keeping up with my content on this channel, you'll know that I have been reviewing the Dead or Alive series. And today we are doing Dead or Alive number 4, which was a release on the Xbox 360 that was exclusive. It came out in 2005, and honestly, I didn't know what to expect with this one. From my childhood, I played a lot of Dead or Alive 3, and then after that I played Dead or Alive 1 and 2, and I just was curious on if Dead or Alive 4 really kept the momentum of the series going, and if it's top quality. We're gonna find all of that out today. Now, if you are a first-time viewer on this channel, or if you just haven't yet, go ahead, hit that sub button, because I've got tons of game reviews on this channel, including all of the Dead or Alive games before Dead or Alive 4, but I also have games from the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, all the way up to the PS5 and the Switch. So go ahead and hit that sub button so you can watch all of those game reviews. All right, let's get back into the ring one more time with the Jiggly Girls of Dead or Alive. Team Ninja and Tecmo took the leap and launched Dead or Alive 4 for the Xbox 360 in 2005. Our favorite girls are back in action as the evil DOATEC organization is under fire for their terrible human experiments. Join the Jiggly cast of beautiful girls and help win the 4th Dead or Alive tournament that was exclusive to the Xbox 360. There's plenty of more TNA action in this Dead or Alive 4 review. Let's go ahead and get this kicked off, starting with the plot, but be warned, spoilers are ahead. In my very humble opinion, Dead or Alive 4 presents the best plot from the first 4 games in the series. It makes sense for once, and it includes various characters and subplots. You basically have 2 warring factions, DOATEC, which stands for Dead or Alive Tournament Executive Committee, which I will call DOTEC from now on, and the Mugen, which again, I have no idea if I'm ever saying that correct, Tension Clan. The DOTEC has been snatching up ninjas from the clan to experiment on and create a superhuman fighter. Returning fighters Helena and Christy represent DOTEC, while Kasumi, Hayate, Hayabusa, and Ayane represent the Mugen Tension. DOTEC wants to unleash their newly created superhuman weapon, which is a clone of Kasumi with enhanced powers in liquid form, and the Tension want to bring down the DOTEC for good after the damage they have inflicted against the clan. That's pretty much the main plot of the game, and I really liked it. You also have other characters fighting in the tournament with their own entwining subplots that are just as interesting to discover. So without further ado, let's take a look at the roster for Dead or Alive 4. Kasumi, she's chosen to become an outcast of the clan, overcoming a vast number of trials to survive. If only it were possible for her to live in peace with her brother Hayate, who is the current clan leader. However, storm clouds are already brewing, and the next epic battle of Kasumi's life is about to be set in motion. Alpha 152 is coming. Kasumi still has no idea of the nightmare that is about to be unleashed on the world by her own clone. Kasumi was the winner of the first tournament. Ryu Hayabusa. It is not known who first uttered the phrase, but people have come to know Ryu as the Super Ninja. He is the lone surviving ninja of the Hayabusa clan, a lineage that traces its roots back to ancient times. Tales of his extraordinary exploits and incredible abilities are well known. Now, having heard reports of his dear friend Hayate's rise to arms, Hayabusa lends his sword to the destruction of DOTEC. He was the winner of the second tournament. Bass Armstrong. Pro wrestling is the kind of thing that you can stake your entire life on and still not completely master it. That's what he taught his daughter. Yeah, but look at Tina now. First it's modeling, then it's acting. What's with all this flashy crap? I'll have to take her on again in the DOA tournament and teach her once and for all the true worth of wrestling. I'll tell you what, brother. However, Bass has no idea that his precious Tina has already filmed her first gangbang. Has already set her sights on a new conquest. Now, before I talk about Zach, I do want to mention that I have played Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball. I love that game, and you can expect a review of that coming very soon. But let's get back to Zach, who is just coming back from Zack Island. The infamous Zack Island, a tropical casino resort, has sunk to the bottom of the ocean. Now all that remains is a mountain of debt 100 times the size of the original investment. Even the normally aloof Zach will have a hard time recovering from this blow, or so everyone thought. Zach's sights are already set on his next conquest, the Doatech Tri-Tower, 3 enormous pillars stretching up to the sky. I gotta climb this thing. I'm sorry, that's my best black guy impression. Jan Lee. There is one thing that Jan Lee knows. A showdown between 2 truly powerful men is like an inferno. The heat that burns the soul and the scorching that says you are truly alive. These all come from the power of the fist. What Jan Lee is really searching for is the elation, the heat, which comes from trading blows with one who is truly powerful. The Dead or Alive martial arts tournament. This is the only reason that Jan Lee attempts to breach the strongholds of the victorious. Li Fang. It starts with a 6-year-old memory, always accompanied by battle cries that sound like they are coming from a strange bird. The gleaming blade rushes toward her as she feels it may be too late. Then, in an instant, the young man with the embroidered dragon leaps on the scene. He massacres the hoodlums with a single blow, accompanied by a piercing yell. Since then, she has committed herself to reaching the highest plateau of ability, all so that she may exist in the same world as that young man. She must defeat him. For those that don't know, that is Jan Lee. Tina Armstrong. It may have been because of her father's Bass's special training or simply her natural talent, but either way, Tina has become a well-established superstar in the world of women's pro wrestling. She has also been amazingly successful at everything else that she's done, both as a model and as an actress, always following her motto, success breeds success. Now she sets her sights on a new dream. Ayani. She is the Kuno Aokichi prodigy of Hyjin Mun, the dark side of the Mugen Tenshin clan. Although she is the half-sister to Kasumi and Hayate, she is doomed to the shadows because of her cursed birth. While she has an intense hatred towards Kasumi, who was brought up in a privileged environment, unlike herself, she also feels strongly drawn toward Hayate. She has pledged her entire existence to the task of assisting Hayate in his plan to destroy Doatech. She is also the winner of the 3rd DOA tournament. Geng Fu. He's unlockable in Versus mode but is not available for the story. Sounds like the old man has retired for now. Bayman. The man personally responsible for Fame Douglas's assassination in the first game. However, Donovan's payment for the deed came delivered in the form of a killer hired to shut him up. Such a misguided client must not be allowed to live. Now the vengeful Bayman is infiltrating the Tri-Tower, Doatech's base of operations, and he won't be leaving until he's got Donovan's head. Hayate. He is a young ninja in charge of a powerful group of warriors in his role as the leader of the clan. He cannot allow himself to look away any longer as Doatech continues its orgy of indiscriminate violence. With the red-hot forge of fury burning within him, Hayate gives an order to his brethren. Doatech must fall. Let us eradicate them within the cleansing flames of justice. Helena. The daughter of Fame Douglas, the founder of Doatech, Helena has sworn revengeance after losing both her father and her beloved mother to a whirlwind of conspiracy. Now she has chosen to throw herself into the storm by assuming the mantle of the president of Doatech. Where does she intend to lead this giant organization, the source of all of her misfortune? No matter what path she chooses, she will not find happiness at its end. She is the winner of the 4th Dead or Alive tournament. Christy. She has served at Helena's side, a poisonous needle slipped in by Donovan. Christy views this elegant woman as the complete opposite of herself, with feelings that she cannot quite understand. What is this fixation? I don't know, but they should probably just scissor it out. She won't allow anyone else to harm that frail body. No, that privilege is reserved only for her blood-soaked snake hands. Hitomi. A sudden illness has befallen Hitomi's father, a karate practitioner and prominent member of the German martial arts community. Although his life was spared, the family's training hall is in financial trouble. Hitomi's days are so busy now, but one of her greatest strengths is not letting all the seriousness of her situation faze her. I'll just have to rebuild the dojo, but I'll need somebody's help. Only one person comes to mind. Hayate! I wonder where he is and what he's doing. Brad Wong. His journey to find the elusive liquor Genra comes to an end, but not in the form of a drink, but as a confrontation with a monster. He followed his master's wishes and searched for 3 years. 3 years is such a long time, and to have it turn out to be for nothing? Well, now with nothing to lose, Brad continues to wander. If he roams enough, certainly he will run into someone to fight. Leon. He's not available for the story mode, but he is unlockable in Versus. New fighters. Kokoro. It's not like I don't like training to be a geisha, it's just that there's something that I enjoy much more than any of my lessons. I really put my heart and soul into my ba-ji kwa, and that's what I'm truly confident in. I want to test myself. I want to enter the DOA tournament. And so, the worries of her mother Miyoko, who knows all there is to know about the criminal underground, Kokoro takes her first steps onto the path to bloodshed. Elliot. He's the only apprentice of the legendary immovable fist, Genfu, but he has his doubts. Why would Master Genfu, who has never taken an apprentice before, chose him as his successor? Elliot seeks the answer in the form of the DOA tournament. If he cannot win the tournament, he has no right to carry on Genfu's legacy. La Mariposa, a masked wrestler who hides her identity under her flamboyant costume. La Mariposa rose like a comet to the peak of stardom only a short while after her debut. She's never lost a match, and like so many other masked wrestlers, her past remains a mystery. It seems that she's got special expectations for her entry in the DOA tournament. That is it for the roster of fighters in DOA 4, and while I listed them, I think I managed to offend every single type of race and sex. I've offended women, black guys, pro wrestling fans, people that speak proper Japanese and mixed martial arts titles, the good Mexican people. I can't do a single impression without ruining it. Sorry, guys. Usually I say how much the graphics have improved in each Dead or Alive game, but for the first time in the series, I was left very unimpressed by the graphics for Dead or Alive 4. I know it was an early entry on the system, but wow, the graphics and fighters look like they belong on the PS2 or the Xbox. I think DOA 2 might have better graphics than DOA 4. Particularly, the hair on the fighters looks terrible. The strands just slide around on the shoulders like spaghetti noodles. My first ever fight in the game was Kasumi vs Tina. The difficulty in the gameplay was ramped up, and there was no easy mode to select during my playthrough. The lowest difficulty is normal. Tina quickly beat my ass and put Kasumi into a hold before riding her down the stone stairs like a toboggan. Holy shit, that was awesome to watch. Now, I don't think I have the gameplay to show that, but hopefully I can find that same move. I immediately knew that I'd have to bring my A game to this tournament after Tina quickly disposed of me. I still don't know why there's no English voice acting. Why? I don't get it. I love the voice acting in DOA 2, so why is it absent from the first, the third, and the fourth? The environments have continued to become more and more of a weapon in each entry. I loved sending my opponents into the wall or a window and watching them crash below a few stories before doing extra damage during my playthrough. It's great fun, and even when it's me getting sent down the stairs or through a fence, it's cool to watch. Now, there's this one fighting area that takes place with dinosaurs. I don't get it. There's literally a T-Rex and other dinosaurs wandering around the area. Where did they come from? Did DOA rent out Jurassic Park Island? Anyway, boss fights have always been stupid in this series. The first game was okay, but in the second and the third, it featured supernatural demons with the screens blurry or weird camera angles. Finally, DOA 4 has a respectable end boss. It's still on the supernatural side, but at least it makes sense. Most fighters will fight Alpha 152, which is Kasumi's clone, for the final fight. She fights just like any other fighter with no weird angles or blurry vision. Good! That's what I loved during my DOA 4 playthrough. Now the final boss did change depending on the character that you played as. Not everyone fought Alpha 152, some fought other characters in the game that had more to do with their character's arc. Great job, Team Ninja and Tecmo. I loved that change because it made sense that not everyone could fight Alpha 152. These fights connected the overall story and it made it much more easier to understand. My favorite part of Dead or Alive 4 was the ridiculous and bizarre end videos for the characters. Almost every character featured a crazy end video that was hilarious. I loved it. I beat the game with every character, but the first one that I beat the game with was Kasumi. In her end video, she appears as a naked mermaid swimming around in the ocean and gets caught in a net. She wakes up from the dream and is trapped by her sheets. The video was so weird and it had nothing to do with the tournament. It made me want to beat the game with all the other characters just to see their crazy end videos. And I was not disappointed. I'm happy to say that DOA 4 still features that fast and fluid gameplay that the series is known for. I loved all the holds, I loved the directional punches and kicks, and I loved smashing my enemies through the environments. Honestly, the Dead or Alive series is quickly becoming my favorite fighting series. Even when I lose, I still have fun. And it's one of the few fighting games that makes me want to keep practicing and practicing until I've mastered a character's fighting skills. This is the best game in the series despite the poor graphics for the platform. Fighting motions are smooth and the gameplay is easy to learn, and for once, the plot makes sense. Pick this game up if you see it. Dead or Alive 4 is an excellent game in the series, and I loved it. That's why Dead or Alive 4 scores an 8.7 out of 10, making this a great game. Gamers, that was my review of Dead or Alive 4 on the Xbox 360 from 2005. Personally, this is my favorite game in the series, and I was not expecting that. I had a lot of nostalgia for the third game, so I thought that one might be a little bit better, and I really loved my time with the second one. But it was the fourth game that caught my attention, and it's my favorite. So I'd love to hear from you guys that have played Dead or Alive 4, or for you fighting fans that love the Dead or Alive series. Let me know in the comments below who was your favorite fighter in Dead or Alive 4. What did you think of the final boss fight? And did you still feel like the boobs were bouncing in Dead or Alive 4? I didn't come across that too much, so I'm curious on what your thoughts are. While you're typing away your comment, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel because I've got tons of game reviews on it ranging from the 80s, the 90s, all the way up to the current gen. Now, I'm gonna say this. I have not played Dead or Alive 5, so that is not gonna be coming out anytime soon on my channel. I need to play it. I'm excited to play it, but I just haven't gotten around to it yet. But if you still crave more Dead or Alive action on my channel, coming up next is my review of Dead or Alive 3, which is another really good game in the series. Gamers, thanks for watching, and make sure you play a video game today.